thing is graph the polar point, then convert to rectangular form. So hopefully you guys can recognize. Now, obviously, I will typically be giving you guys like polar graph paper to go and graph this. And basically, polar graph paper is just going to be an x and y axis with kind of rings. And we notice here that the 3 is our radius, right? So we're going to go out to the third ring. And then we're just going to graph the angle 2 pi over 3. Well, hopefully you guys recognize, remember 2 pi over 3 is right there, right? Has a reference angle pi over 3. And that's on the point. Now, obviously, the line is not a part of the point, right? So we're just going to draw it from there. So that is how you plot the point. So 3 represents like the radius of the circle, right? And the pi over 3 represents the angle. OK? There's that. Now let's go ahead and convert this to rectangular form. I mean, yes, but I wouldn't mark you down. I mean, it's not everything's going to be perfect, though, especially with my graphs. I mean, look at my circle I mean, in all seriousness. So let's go ahead and convert this. And if you guys look at the polar point is r comma theta, but a rectangular point is x comma y. So we look at what is the relationship between x and y and r and theta. Well, to look at this, and actually to make sense of this, x is simply r times cosine of theta. And that should make sense to you. Because if we go back to the unit circle, any point that's on the unit circle, right, this was cosine of theta, sine of theta. You guys remember that? Right? And remember, think about vectors. Remember when this is a vector? If I wanted to double this times 2, well, I would just multiply the vector times 2, right? So it'd be like 2 cosine of theta, sine of theta. So whatever your scalar is, that's what you're just multiplying by cosine of theta, sine of theta. So r is like your radius or your scalar in this case. So in this case, to find my new x coordinate, I'm just going to type x equals 3 times the cosine of.
Mr. McLogan?
Yes?
Could you please send Stephen Luca to the front office to check out, please?
OK.
Thank you.
So we have x equals 2 times our cosine of 2 square root of 3. I'm sorry, 2 pi over 3. Does anybody remember what 2 pi over 3 is? Negative. So x is equal to a negative 3/2. And then we have y equals r sine of theta. And again, that's the equation that you guys are provided. But again, it's the same thing. Like it's r times the sine of theta. So that's going to be 3 times the sine of 3 pi over 2. I'm sorry, 2 pi over 3. Sorry. And the sine of 2 pi over 3, guys, is square root of 3 over 2. So we get y equals 3 square root of 3 over 2. So the coordinate point in rectangular form is my x coordinate and my y coordinate.